Greetings, YouTube. I've got a Dell Inspiron 17 model 5755 that I need to disassemble to replace the DC jack that was damaged, as well as the keyboard that was damaged by a cat that sprayed on it. So anyway, before we get started, make sure that you've got the OS shut down completely and all power disconnected, including the battery, which is on the back of the laptop. There's a latch that you just slide to the unlock position, flip up the battery, and then remove it and put it to the side. A couple of tools that I'm going to be using for this is a small Phillips screwdriver, as well as a couple of guitar picks that I like to use to peel these laptops apart. So we'll get started with the keyboard, and just take your guitar pick and go into the corner and just go ahead and get this to pop up. And since I've already got this already detached from the body of the laptop, you're not going to hear all the nice snapping and popping sounds that you normally would, but basically these little indents that are right here are the locking tabs for the keyboard. So that's where you're going to feel the most resistance as you start to move the pick along and work it along and get it to where it pops up freely here. Now that it's free, you're just going to slide it just gently forward. You can see the locking tabs on the bottom of the keyboard. You're going to flip it up. Now I've already got all the ribbon cables disconnected that I need to, but this is the backlight power ribbon cable, and that connects in here to the motherboard, and you just flip up this little black tab. Just be careful not to break those. They are fragile. And then you would just remove the cable, and then you got the same situation over here for the other cable, where it plugs into the motherboard here, and you just flip up this this plastic tab right there, and that's it. And the cable just comes right out. So now that we've got the keyboard squared away, put that to the side. If you've got a can of compressed air, now would be a good time to go ahead and clean out this fan if it has dust in it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove 4 screws, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Put those off to the side. This is the ribbon cable for the optical disk drive, and again, same situation, just flip up the black plastic tab, remove the ribbon cable. Remember this ribbon cable, because when you go to the back side of this, you're going to want to make sure when you begin to separate the chassis that you're able to manipulate this through this part of the chassis and move it carefully out so you don't damage it. I'm not going to remove this ribbon cable here simply because it's really not going to be in the way of what I'm working with, but I will be removing this ribbon cable here. So that pretty much takes care of that piece of it. Now we can go ahead and close up the laptop, and we can flip it over, and we can take a look and see what we've got on the back. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got the battery disconnected. That was that lever I was telling you about right there, that you just push it over to the unlock position and then remove the battery. Alright, so here is the service cover on the back. It is held in by 2 screws, one here and one over here. Once you get those out, then you can just take a flat screwdriver and just pop it underneath there, and then again just kind of carefully work your way around to get that to come loose. And once you do, then that's it. You just kind of lift it up, take it off, and then put it over to the side. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to disconnect the hard drive. So there's 2 screws here and 2 screws here, a total of 4 that you want to remove, and set those off to the side. Then here we've got the ribbon cable that connects to the motherboard, that goes to the SATA adapter right there. And again, same situation that we've been working with. These little delicate tabs, just be careful, and then just remove that, and you're good to go there. You can remove the hard drive and put it into a safe place. Next, we're going to work on the wireless card, and that will be held in by a screw and this little silver bracket. You'll remove that, and then the wireless card will pop up, and it comes out of that slot right in there. Next, we're going to remove the memory, and just going to move these little tabs across just like that. Memory card pops up, you just remove it and place that off to the side. Next, we want to disconnect the speakers, and that's just this connection right here. Simply you just slide that out, and that's it. You're good to go there. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the screw. It's located right here. That's for the optical drive. The optical drive, just with nice little gentle force, you'll be able to just get that past the you get that past the little connector that's inside, and you just pull that out, and you'll slide out the optical drive and put that off to the side. Now the next thing we'll want to do is remove the screws that are remaining that hold the chassis assembly together. There's 2 screws back here underneath where the battery compartment is right there, and then where the optical drive is, there's 3 screws over here as well. And so just make sure that you've got the screws removed all the way around here. You'll see these 2 screws that are here. You don't need to remove those for this step. I checked underneath these rubber feet. On the laptop, there are no screws on this model. Sometimes manufacturers will hide them underneath there, but I verified that there are no screws on there. As you start to take this apart, again, you're going to be using the guitar picks, and I just started down over here, just off to the where the headphone jack is, and I just got a pick down in there, and sometimes I'll just get it started there, and then I'll use another guitar pick, and then I'll get one down in here, and then just start, working it along. Come on. There we go. And come on, cooperate with me. We're on YouTube after all. All right. Got that there. And there we go. And you're going to work that all the way around the outside until you get back in here. There's a little trick to getting back here to get this to separate. Okay, cool, it's focused. Right there, you've got a tab there, you got a tab here, and a tab here, and a tab here. These are a little tricky. You'll want to take your guitar pick and wedge them underneath here, so you'll get a little bit of force pushing against that tab, and then you can take a flat nose screwdriver and just get that tab to release over there, and then you'll want to do that on all 4 of those tabs, and just be careful not to break them. Take your time. I would say that's probably the most challenging part of disassembling this piece of the laptop. So let's go ahead and remove this cover. Oh yeah, one other thing to be careful of the Wi-Fi card here. What you want to do is make sure that you've got this positioned so that when you begin to lift this up, that it won't get hung up on there. And remember that cable I was telling you about that connects to the optical drive? Okay, well, let's see if we can have a look underneath here. Can you see it back in there? There it is right there. Okay, so just be careful. Make sure that that just comes out nice and easy. And so there we go. We've got that guy all good to go. I'm going to set that off to the side. Okay, here we go. Now we're looking at the contents of this laptop. So originally I was telling you that the DC power jack had gotten damaged, and there it is right there. There should be a round plastic post with a hole in the center of it, and so you can see how this one had been damaged. It sits right over there, and there's just one screw that you're going to remove right there, and then you're going to follow that cable, and right here where the cable for the screen is, right underneath there is where this connector plugs into. To get to that, you need to remove these 2 screws here. You're also going to need to remove that screw there. And if you find any other screws that may be in the motherboard, then you'll want to also remove those as well. And let's go ahead and get a shot here. I'm going to just take my finger and just lift this. You can see how this piece comes up too. And then right underneath there, let's see if we can get a shot. Oh, there it is right there. You see where that clear piece of plastic is? I'm going to try to work my finger in so I can, okay, hold still. Okay, good. Right there. That is where that DC jack power connection is going to plug into. Those pins are very small. They're probably maybe a 0.5 millimeter in diameter, so just be super careful when you plug that back in. This connector is notch oriented, so just a couple things for reference when you do take a look at this DC jack connector. There will be contacts that you will see that are visible. They're gold contacts. I wish I could get the camera to focus in on that, but oh gosh, well, anyway, basically you'll want to make sure that you get that you get that properly oriented before you plug that back in there, and that's pretty much it there. On a side note, if this was my personal machine, I would put an SSD in this for sure, to increase the performance, and then I would back up the data on the old hard drive, and then I would format this. This is a 2 terabyte hard drive that came with this, and then what I would get is a hard drive caddy. I did this on my Toshiba, and basically what it does is it takes the place of your optical drive, and it will have a recess in it where you can put the old drive in. Of course, this ribbon cable, this SATA adapter would come off, but and as well as the metal chassis around it, that housing. But it just sits down inside, and then it just plugs straight away into your motherboard, and then you've got the performance of the SSD, and then you've got increased local storage available just straight away on your machine. So I've been running a configuration like that on my Toshiba for a couple of years now, and I haven't had any issues. So anyway, I hope that this video has helped you, and best of luck to you with your future.